Okay, so I'm back with like the third and final video I'm gonna do right here. I had to put on a different shirt because I want to present it as a different video, all right? I don't know. I don't want to have on the same shirt for 3 videos in a row, so. And I don't even have like enough shirts to like keep this up, posting every day and making it seem like it's a different outfit. I'm just not there yet, so just bear with me. I don't know who I think I am or whatever, but I'm trying to help you guys, so just bear with me and don't judge too much. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about the want to quit. You know, like if I haven't been through all these things that I've been through in my life, I would have quit. I quit last year because like I was trying to help people with vouchers all the time and it just wasn't working, and I got discouraged a lot. Like it was just like ugh. And then there's people making deals and I'm like, why am I not making deals? But I was only there for like a month or two. Like I had no drive. I just got a car. I just wanted the car and girls and all this stuff. So I had my priorities mixed up. But this time, I know what I want, and I refuse to quit. But you know how you have those little voices or that demon on your shoulder or whatever telling you like, go ahead, quit or take a day off or like, oh, what are you even doing? This isn't going to work. You think like, like your job pays you more than this. You've been making more than this your whole life. What are you doing? Like you're trying to, I don't know, go against the grain, so to speak. Because my father always like, I don't know, the whole thing with him, like he's a working man, so his whole thing was like court officer and pension, and he wanted me to do something like that. Like those guys have good lives, they have houses, wives, and everything, but I went in a different direction. I like didn't go to college or whatever, so I have to make my own lane, all right? And sometimes it's hard going against the grain, and like sacrificing my sleep when I know I gotta work, but this is my job also, and this is what I want to make my dream and my career. So I have to sacrifice the sleep. But sometimes I feel like an idiot sacrificing sleep and doing all these things when, like, I don't know where I'm going. I know where I want to go, but like it's just like sometimes it's hard to just like push through and listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this time I'm gonna just push through and listen to me. And the things that's telling me to be lazy or to take a day off or whatever the case may be is not, that doesn't affect me. I have a why. Like I have a strong why, and I'm gonna fight for this time. Like I quit my whole life. Like I was an incredible basketball player. Like you wouldn't believe it, but I still got a little bit of that. But I had a nasty crossover. I could jump. I had a decent jump shot. I was a defensive hound. I was very well-rounded point guard. Like I was really good, and I felt like no matter how much I smoked weed, I could still go D2. Like, and then I remember one day I was real cocky when it came to basketball, but I remember one year, my sophomore year, because my freshman year I was like just I don't know, but my sophomore year I did tryouts or whatever, and they, you know how you go on and they already have their team, so you basically trying out for no reason. I scorched them. They starting point guard, they put them up against me the first game, first play I come down, boom, I sham guard him. I don't know if y'all know what a sham guard is, but I made him go the other way. I just pulled it. He went the other way. I'm sitting here. I'm dogging him. I'm hitting jump shots mid range. I'm losing the ball, recovering it, making him go the other way, and I'm just rising up now. I'm real cocky. I believe myself. I'm rising up. I've done it before, a million times, with guys in the projects that like, these guys are robbers and these guys, but they're my friends and stuff. But these guys are intimidating guys. They're way more intimidating than these people. Like you make them look bad, it's a problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there's no reason I shouldn't expose these guys. Like I'm exposing my friends that's way more bigger and more talented, to be honest. Anyway, like that's what I do. I expose people. Like when it comes to basketball, I'm the nicest guy in the world, but when we get on that court, I'm exposing you. Whatever weakness you got, I'm taking it. Whatever, I'm taking it. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I was a hell of a basketball player. What? Made the team. I was messing with this girl I shouldn't even been messing with, but like she was like kind of like messing with another guy, and like sometimes it's hard to go to school every day, and I felt like I loved this woman, like first love, whatever. Lost your virginity to her, something stupid like that, right? So yeah, you go past her every day, and she's with another guy. That makes you depressed, and that makes you feel like what the hell, like so. It was hell week after I made the team because I scorch them every day. That's what I do. Like I said, I scorched them. You damn right I made that team. I made somebody that was on the team get kicked off the team, and I got in his spot. So I did that. And this woman comes along and messes. She didn't mess it all up, but walking past her every day with another guy really messed my head up. I was super depressed. I was super not into it. I was smoking weed when I shouldn't have been smoking weed. I just made the team. What am I doing? You gotta run miles with the team and stuff, and I didn't smoke really weed before, but I started smoking weed around that time. And yeah, I quit. I basically quit when I didn't go to Hell Week like 3 days in a row. That's a no-no, especially when you just made the team. Like, bro, you got somebody kicked off the team for you, you don't make Hell Week. So they let me practice one day, and he said, and I made an excuse like, oh, my uncle died or something, and he was like, your uncle died? Okay, so stay grieving. That's what he told me, stay grieving. So basically I got kicked off the team or whatever. It was real embarrassing or whatever. And yeah, so I never really I wasn't like the flyest guy. I wasn't none of this. So I'm like, if I'm not going to do basketball, I'll be damned I'm not going to be broke. So I went out there and I got into dabbling with selling weed and stuff like that, and just like, I don't know, fighting. I love to box and I love to play basketball. That's what I like to do. Like fighting and playing basketball was like what I love to do. I came home every day with my friends and we just fought. We slap boxed in a little hallway every day, just ducking each other, hitting each other with haymakers, like smacking each other though. But like if I got your body, I was gonna hit you too, jab you. Anyway, so, and those guys were way bigger than me. I loved it. I always had more energy than them, and they always had more power. So it was just like, it was always a fight. Like, yeah. And we was always talking. I love, you see how I talk about it. I love, switching stances on people. Being one place one time, then you right on the side of them, and you just hitting them. Boom. Feel me? I like that. Not like super violent person, but I just like to be out there active, and it's competition. Just like basketball, I expose you. But when we slap boxing, I'm gonna expose you too. I'm gonna try my best, and it's just out of love and fun and the game. It's the game. I love it. So that's what I was back in the day, or when I was a kid, and I loved it. I wasn't always that. Like a lot of people pushed me around at first and stuff. Like I grew up in the projects, always the smallest guy, and I had to get mean. I had to show teeth. And now I love showing teeth. I don't like violence. I don't like all that. But when I have to show teeth, then it is what it is. What else can I do? What else can I do? Run and hide? What, I'm going to run to somebody and go get, like what? I'm going to run and go get me? So anyways, I quit everything ever, and those are the things I fell in love with when I was a kid, and I just up and quit basketball from that day and start I fell in love with women and money and still fighting and stuff, but like it wasn't really nobody to fight. When I got past like 16 and I had like mustache and all this, like a beard damn near and stuff, like, and I got into women, I had to fight like grown men now over their woman or something like that. Grown men now were jealous of me. Like grown men, 30 years old, jealous of a 16-year-old kid. a 16-year-old kid because I got more money than you or whatever, and you ain't working for it anyway. If you let me make more money than you, how I figured it, like you ain't got swag if you let me take your girl. Like, that's your baby mama. Like, why does she like a 16-year-old kid? That's your fault. And if you ain't about to punk me out of it because she like me. She like me, she like me. You're a derelict. What do you want me to do about that? Like, your kid likes me, bro. You want to fight, then hey, come on. And I had like a team, so it wasn't nobody that really, I was confident. I loved it. I loved the rush. You know what I mean? It's just a rush. And it's kind of the same rush with this real estate because it's like rentals. You just like there. You know what I mean? That's why I like this. Once I start closing some deals, I think I could like really mess with it as a career, like, because I got it. I gotta know where to block off my time and like the people to deal with and not waste time with us, whatever. But yeah, I loved it. It was a big rush, fast life, women, money, and it wasn't that much money, but to me it was real good money to me, So like a pack is $100 or whatever. So if you sell the pack, you get a 60-40 split. So we was like selling out of a store. So everybody that came to get their food and their munchies or whatever for the kid, and they came to see us. So it was like felt like a real business. You know what I mean? We had we had like a communication with the ownership or whatever. It felt like a real business to me, especially a 16-year-old kid supposed to be in school, but I'm doing this and 60-40 splits. I felt like an independent contractor, which I kind of was. But we were a team and it was fun, yeah, but that's where my love of women came from and stuff. But I remember my father, like, he never condoned that stuff. He wanted to kick me out and everything because, like, that's what I would do. You don't want to follow my rules under my roof? Like, get the fuck out. Like, what do you mean? But my mother had a soft spot for me. That's how I was able to do that with my father there, because my father was a real intimidating guy, still is. And it's just like, he didn't want that for me. So that's why I follow the path I follow now. I'm a security guard. He started that before I got into any real trouble. And I was like 17, turning 18 when I got a security job, and I never looked back from that because my father. And that's the only really thing what, man? I had an apartment at 19. Let me quit doing what I got to do to feed myself and have a roof over my head. That would be the dumbest thing ever. So I didn't quit that. My father, he set me up with that. I love my father, and I wouldn't, even though I used to like get into arguments with people all the time and just never agree with nothing, I was just like a hothead, like super hothead. I'm still a little hothead. I try to stop that, but I was a super hothead. I curse you out in a minute. I was an 18-year-old kid making $20-something an hour. I just thought I knew everything. But yeah, that's one thing I didn't quit. So, but everything else I quit because by that time, like 3 years into it or whatever, I kind of was getting fatigued and mentally fatigued or whatever, and I wanted something new. I was still a young kid, like 23. So I tried to go to the army or whatever, and I did everything. I took the test. Because I dropped out, so I taught myself everything. I taught myself how to I got my GED. I taught myself everything, like the math and stuff, because in high school, after I got kicked off the team or whatever, I didn't pay attention in high school or none of that. I just was like, fuck school. And so I had to teach myself everything. I sat right here on this couch and I taught myself. I already knew how to read and everything. I was good with that stuff, but I taught myself math and all this stuff, and a little bit of science and history and stuff like that. That's one talent I have. I could just sit there, and if I want to do something, I really sit there in like silence and just do it. Like learn. I love to learn, so I love that thing. I loved it, to just learn and teach myself. And I found the love in that, and I taught myself, and I got my GED or whatever. So I tried to go to the Army, and I did everything with that, passed the ASVAB or whatever. And it's funny because the person told me, "Hey, you just got your GED, and you want to be I wanted to be a, what you call that, a grunt or whatever. So, and you only want to do infantry, so you ain't gotta study for the test. It's easy. Dummies do infantry. Like, what are you studying for? You only study if you want to be like an MP or something like that." So my dumb self or whatever, I didn't study or whatever, and I actually failed the infantry side of the test, but I got something else. I got like, what is that called? Whatever. When you get all the artillery, and you basically are accounting for everything, like the bullets, the gun, logistics. I got hired for logistics. I passed the logistics side, but I failed the fighting and the infantry side. So I'm like, I'm not even that smart. How do I get logistics over infantry? I thought infantry was for stupid people, like, and logistics is numbers and all this. And like I told you, I taught myself math, so I got good at math. So I'm like, how did I fail that and I get in for logistics? What? It was just mind blowing to me. So yeah, so I got in for logistics. I was not happy about that. But now it's time to take all the tests, like the eyesight and the hearing and all this. And I fill out hella paperwork, math applications or whatever. And so I did that, and I was real proud of myself. I thought I was on my way in. So I didn't have the best eyesight. I found that out there because I couldn't really see at first. And then she said, I couldn't see anything. And then she said, leave and come back. Come back when you're done everything else, and come back to me and do this over. When I did it over, I still needed glasses, but I could see a little bit better. I realized I needed glasses from there. That's funny. And I failed the hearing test by 1 kilohertz in my left ear. Just one. And I did that test 3 times that day. 3 times, and failed it each time by that 1 kilohertz, bro. So that's when I'm like, only one, like, and I'm doing logistics. I'm not even infantry. Like, why can't, like, and they wasn't trying to hear nothing. They let people with, I forgot what you call it when you give somebody a pass in the military. Like, I hated the military since that day. Like, I was just like, I wanted to forget all the information that I ever learned about the military. That's why I don't know all the sayings and everything, because I hate it. Like, so mad. But whatever, where they give people a pass that try to commit suicide, that been in all types of programs and everything, they giving them a pass, but they can't give me a pass for 1 kilohertz when I'm gonna be in the office doing logistics, something I don't even want to do, and y'all ain't gonna let me get a pass. So they told me to go to the hearing doctors in New York City and get some approval from them, make them write a letter that, hey, my hearing is good and everything. And I passed their test, and I just failed it by 1 kilohertz, of course, because I got, I guess, hearing damage by 1 kilohertz. I was serious. So I did it twice, and both doctors, like the number 2 doctors in hearing in New York City or whatever, they wrote out the letters. They gave me a pass or whatever. They wrote out big paragraph letters. I'm good. Noah's good. He could do the job. And they still didn't give me a pass, bro. And that was it. Like, they just crushed the dream, bro, that I had for the military. They just crushed it. 1 kilohertz in my ear, like, hearing difference than this one. Like, and they couldn't pass me when I was going to be in the office, doing logistics, son. Literally doing logistics. I ain't going to be in the field where y'all can't pass me. That's crazy. He said, oh, we not at war. We don't really need people like that. Or something like that. Like, how can y'all shit on me? I want to put my life on the line for this country, and I got pride. I had pride in the country. Like, I really wanted to do that. Squandered it. Threw my dream out the window or whatever. I was so hurt and depressed and everything. You know what I'm saying? So hurt and depressed. And I never wanted to work hard like that for anything else, like, ever. Like, you know, when something starts getting hard, I always used to quit. Like, I'm not going through all that, and you know, so I could get denied anyway. Like, I always had that in the back of my head, because when I did it with basketball, I used to get up 6 in the morning and shoot that ball. And yo, I had a love for basketball. Well, I did everything for it. 6 in the morning while it's still dark in the snow, whatever, practicing on my handles, putting a plastic bag on the ball, just dribbling it, losing control of it, getting it back. I knew that ball like the back of my hand. And I got to know like math or whatever the back of my hand, and I got to know the military terms back of my hand or whatever, and I got to know women sort of like the back of my hand, and all of that squan like felt like it got crushed by some way somehow, and I never ever like wanted to feel heartbreak again. I felt it once with the ball. I felt it another time. Well, I didn't even talk about my women troubles, but I felt that a bunch of times already to that point. And then that just felt like it ripped. It really ripped something in me, in my heart. Like, that was a hard time, but I never like wanted to work that hard for something else and like get it ripped away from me. It feels like say like you hear a party or something down the block, and you're like, yeah, they really jamming down there. And you go, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna do that. You go, you get dressed, you look good now. You do whatever you do in the mirror, your lines or whatever, and you go down to that party. And once you get on the block, you hear the music cut off. What? I just did all this. I'm dressed up now. I did my lines. I'm ready to party. Cut the music off. It's over now. The party's over. Now when I come, that's just how I felt. Like, sheesh. Then you go back to your house, you take off your clothes, and you ain't, you know, you probably go, I don't know, smoke or get a beer. Now you hear music again. And then now I thought they left. I thought the party was over. You go put on your clothes again, run down the block now. You excited. Music cut off again. You're like, what the like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? That I just can't get in the party. Like, I can't get in. But that's always how I felt. Like, can't get right. You know what I mean? But because I quit all them times, and because I always quit, and because I never felt, you know, like it was worth it going for it and fighting for it, and I felt like I always get denied right when I get at the door, that's why I'm not going to quit. That's exactly why I'm not going to quit. I refuse to quit, and I don't care. I'm not quitting. I'm going to be rebellious to the day, whatever day, because it's no way. But I said all that to tell you I'm not quitting this time. I can't quit. I didn't do all that to do this. Like, I didn't feel defeat all those times to let somebody tell me no and slam the door in my face. Now, I'm creeping up in there, or I'm breaking down some shit. I'm breaking down the door, baby. You can't tell me no. I'm not taking no for an answer, and I think this is the perfect business for that. Because I'm not taking no for the answer, bro. That's what I always do. I refuse to do it this time. So, I'm sorry it took that long to get here, but yeah, that's kind of my story or whatever. My failures, excluding a few. Those are another videos on other topics, but because I quit all those times, I'm not quitting. And I just wanted to let y'all know that. And thanks for listening if you stayed to the end, and I hope you feel me. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you.